Good morning. It's almost 6 in the morning. I can hear Gordon outside. No, I haven't slept for shit yet. I can't get a break from anything. About 8, around 8 o'clock last night, I get a call from my folks and find out that I've had to redo this video now. This is like the 4th time. And it's been really hard. I'll just say that. But I got a phone call from my folks. Well, my dad let me know that my dog Nana got attacked again. She had her ear almost ripped off. She had parts of her skin missing. So they took her out to the Tualatin vet again, because the one out on 82nd Drive, they're not happy to help save your dog. They're more than happy to cremate your dog. I will never suggest the veterinarian clinic on 82nd Drive in Portland ever again, ever to anyone. I didn't hear from my folks till about, I didn't hear from my folks. I decided to call them. It was about 10 o'clock. And just let me know what the damage is. When I told me damage is all this stuff and explained to me what's going on, and I'm sitting there going, great. It's like she's 11, almost 12 years old. She's already having hip problems. She's already got attacked once in one of her legs, pretty good. And I had already told him before I left, I was getting worried this was going to happen. It was going to happen when he's gone. And this shit was going to happen, that he would not lock these dogs up, like separate these animals while he's gone. It's going to cost him about $2,000 to help my dog Nana, but because of her age, everything like that, and the risk factor of having her be brought back home to be attacked again, I already to pay. It was depending on what the doctor had to say, but I had already knew that she needed to be put down. So I let my dad go, because he's waiting to hear from the doctor, and I call him back an hour later. They had already put my dog down by the point, because her age and the health factor and just everything going on, And the vet suggested the same thing I did, to try and keep these dogs, deter them from attacking till I get them out of there and we can get at least a couple of them rehomed. Snoopy needs to be rehomed. She was supposed to go to my brother and his girlfriend, but they kept flaking and pulling their shit. The dog's, she's a sweet little dog, but I mean, she's the second smallest one in the house, and the fact that she and the biggest one very much were the lead of the whole thing. During that whole situation, my mom went out to try and stop it, and she got bit. I didn't even know about that till after they put my dog down. Well, then they considered taking her to ER to get it checked out, and they realized that, in that situation, it would bring animal control in. Typically, in those situations, you put an animal down. We also know that when there's a dog fighting going on and you reach in, you're going to get bit. It's not like the dog does that part on purpose. The fact my dad left, didn't bother separating the animals, left my mom there alone. And I can't be in two places at one time. My dad's overwhelmed trying to do all this shit, do whatever he can do. The best he can. We're stuck and fucked, basically. Shock collars aren't intended to do harm to the dogs. It's intended to deter. There's two settings. One for sensitivity on, like, if they go to growl or bark, it'll set it off. And basically, we have to get them in the position of if they growl, it goes off. When it comes to the strength, it's got to be low, because I'm not out. It's not about harming the dogs. It's about giving them that quick jolt that if they start to, where they start associate that aggression towards one of the other dogs or even another person, they'll associate it to that. I've had dogs that had habits of killing neighbors' chickens all the time, and we were able to break that dog of that. Been able to break animals of that stuff, and it's not fun, but it's just like when you got a human dealing with their addictions, they've got to go through a painful process too to kick them. But Snoopy, she was supposed to go to my brother and his girlfriend, and they've been a pair of flakes, big time. I lost respect for him. The way he started treating my mom and my dad after she had a stroke. And then flaking where the dog's concerned. That dog, like I was saying, she's a sweet dog, but she's also skittish. It takes her a while. It's going to take a... She's one of those dogs, it's probably going to take you a while to get her to warm up to you. And then once that happens, she's actually a really sweet fucking dog. It's just she would have to be a single dog home. And my worry is she couldn't... I wouldn't trust her around children right now either, because I don't know on that aspect right now, and that's to be honest. My dog Chunk, I love him to fucking death. I'm going to miss that big fucker. But this is two dogs he's been involved with directly. And he needs to be an only dog in another home also. Where somebody can take care of him. And can handle him and all that stuff. He's similar to that of Snoopy. He's a little skittish, but not so bad. And it's one of those things, it would take time once he gets warmed up to you. He's a good dog. He likes hugs a lot. He'll jump up on you and kiss your face and hug you. He's actually a good dog. We never had this problem before. These problems began happening because we had to not only uproot my animals from here, their home, where they had a lot bigger property to run on. 2.5 times the size of property for them to run on. A house almost twice as big. And overnight, they went from having a home to basically being a guest in my family's home, where I have one of my other dogs at, and that was the dog that we had to put down last night. They had to put down last night. It turned into a territorial situation where they started thinking, okay, this is our home now. And they went basically after the alpha dog. And that was Nana. She's the oldest dog. Outside of Masha. And a lot of it was Snoopy picking fights with these two dogs. And Chunk would jump in and basically finish it. Those two definitely have to be separated and be on their own. I don't want to see them getting put down. They're actually decent dogs, but this shit, no. Because otherwise I'm going to have to do what I don't want to do, and I can't get home, basically, then those two are going to have to get put down. That means I'm going to lose 4 dogs in total. 3 of which were mine. All within a couple months since all this shit started where my ex was concerned. Coming back and fucking with my head some more and doing all this shit. And if I wasn't stuck here, I had to basically, it was like either I started having a bad gut feeling the night before. Night before last night, I started having a really bad gut feeling. And the problem is I had to choose, obviously paying my bills and food before I could go up and go see my parents. And now I think I know why I have this really sick, disgusted feeling in my tummy. Amongst other things that I've learned overnight. The other 3 dogs, Tiny, Andy, and Ava, I can take with me because they're no bigger than Coda and Momo. And I'm usually it sounds bad when I say it this way, I'm usually on top of my animals. So we didn't have all this shit. Yet at the same time, my animals would have been more adapted to other people and animals if they weren't being alienated and isolated to this house and property just like I was here. The only human interactions my dog really had was with me and her. And then with my mom and dad. And whenever I could take up at least Coda and Momo up, or the other ones for a while there, I would take them up and let them stay. They got used to them, and some of them had to get used to my younger son and his family. Others are still, they stand back 5-10 feet away and just bark, wagging their tail, just barking. No hair up or anything. We never had these problems. It's just, that's all I had was my dogs other than her. That's all I had was my dogs and my cat. I have to worry about my cat up there now. And I don't even know if my cat's okay. I have to ask on that too. I didn't ask. Yeah. Got pretty upset with my dad because I told him, I was like, I knew this was going to happen. And I'm getting really sick of telling people, like, look, this needs to happen so that this doesn't happen, because I can't drive 300 fucking miles right away to go deal with things. It's like, you have to be on top of this. It's just like with my mom and the shit going on there. My dad needs help, but we're both overwhelmed. I can't go home or back up there to help because of my younger son's bullshit. Yeah, I could be there until the beginning of January maybe, but that's not going to make a difference. I have to deal with this house because I can't trust the neighbors and I can't trust her anymore. I just can't, because there's been so much shit and it's been so nonstop, so heartless and remorseless, and yeah, I let her know what was up, and of course she does the little emoji cry face. She doesn't give a shit. When they give you these short little responses, yeah, she's up north. I'm pretty sure I passed her yesterday and all, and I think unlisted or removed that vid because I was just like, fuck it. I'm pretty sure I passed her yesterday heading north to go spend time with her ex-husband or whatever for her son's birthday. Happy birthday, by the way. Considering, other things I learned. I got scammed pretty good. My entire reality's been fucked, and it's a cross between mine and my family's kindness and naivety and loving people and trying to see the good in people regardless of how bad things can get at times. And that got taken advantage of really fucking bad. By her, her child, my son, and I should just say her family, because I don't know what's real anymore. As far as I'm concerned, the whole fucking, like when she, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm overwhelmed. I've just gone through so much fucking shit. And it should, like I keep saying, it's like I can't it just won't stop. I've been dealing with the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical fucking aspects of the damage and effects of what happens from narcissistic abuse, to the point even my animals are suffering from it. It's rippled out. When their target was me, they didn't care about who else was getting hurt in the process. They didn't care how it was going to affect the animals. They didn't care how it was going to affect my parents. I think all any of them cared about was me getting hurt. And they really did a good job of it. But I was taught that I as much, even though I still love them, I do forgive them. I could never wish this on them or anybody. No matter how mad I get at times, like, can get really fucking mad about some of this shit, because it's like, how can you be so fucking dirty to people? Especially people who really genuinely give a shit about you. How do you exchange human flesh for cotton and ink? When cotton and ink has become more valuable than the person who just gave you a quarter of their life the last 12 years. For what? For this. I forgive them. I keep saying it. I do forgive them. I have a lot of healing to deal with. I do wish them the best, and I hope they find the happiness they genuinely are searching for. I see that they have, like, their TikTok and their Snapchats and all this other shit, going on. I mean, they're on every single social media, basically. She's got one hell of a customer catfish base. I can't help but think that she's a catfish. Or she's catfishing. There's just a lot of things. My head's got messed with so bad that, like I said, I can't really, with where they're concerned, I can't tell what's real and what's not anymore. And I genuinely, when it comes to this part of things, I just really wish I did have someone around that can help me break this fucking chain the rest of the way. A friend. I need my home to sell fast. I'm really done. I'm really done with all the shit. And I can't. I didn't say I can't take it anymore, but, I keep taking it. And even then, I'm still wishing them the best. I still love you guys. I just hate what you've been doing. And I hate what you've done. One thing, yeah, I'm not even gonna say that. Because I gotta leave it in God's hands, in Karma's hands. I can't help but think there was a big scam going on the last few years. Especially the last couple, when she intentionally lied, saying I was her husband by name, pulled the shit she did to have me thrown in jail. She did exactly what I said she would do. Literally 2 weeks later, she did exactly what I said she would do. And tried taking my home. And ever since then, that seems to be the thing. And I can't help but feel that all their goal was to not only cause me to lose everything, but cause me to either end up dead on the side of the road or completely homeless. Regardless of who or what it affected. I want out of this godforsaken place. Thanks for watching.